everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a really big decision that, well, many landowners grapple with, selling timber from their property. And it's far more than just, cutting down trees. It's a profound long-term commitment to your land, its future, and, well, we're here to help you navigate it. We've pulled together some fantastic sources for this deep dive. There's a really comprehensive piece from Basecamp Leasing called "What is the Right Way to Sell Your Timber?" That's kind of the backbone here. It's packed with practical advice, crucial considerations, and honestly, some truly surprising insights. It really redefines what a timber sale actually means. Our mission, to arm you with the knowledge, basically, to approach this decision not just profitably, but also responsibly, sustainably, turning raw info into valuable insights just for you.
Indeed. And what our sources make abundantly clear is that this is absolutely not a decision to rush into, a large-scale forestry operation. Well, it's something you generally can't undo within your lifetime. What's absolutely fascinating here, I think, is how these sources highlight the delicate balance. It's often counterintuitive, this balance between economic gain and ecological stewardship. So we'll explore the why you might consider it, the how to execute it responsibly, and maybe most critically, the what next for your land after the harvest.
Okay, right. Let's dive into this journey then. If you own land with trees and you've ever found yourself wondering, how much are my trees really worth? Or maybe, how can I even begin to minimize damage to my property during a harvest? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to tackle those initial questions and so much more, really guide you through it. So let's start with the fundamental question. Why? Why even consider selling your timber? I mean, most people immediately think, quick payday, right? And income is certainly a common motivator. But our sources reveal some really compelling reasons that go far beyond just a check. What's the bigger picture here?
Well, yeah, if we connect this to the broader goals of actually owning land, timber sales offer a multifaceted approach. Yes, they provide income, sure, but they're also a powerful tool,
Yeah.
almost transformative sometimes, for improving wildlife habitat and significantly increasing the overall health of your forest, which really forces us to ask, can you genuinely achieve all these goals simultaneously?
And here's where it gets truly counterintuitive for a lot of people. I mean, myself included, before really digging into these sources. The benefits of removing trees can actually enhance habitat for local wildlife. It's not just about what you take away, it's about what you create. Think about how strategically opening up the canopy lets sunlight hit the forest floor, sparks new growth, provides fresh food and cover.
Precisely. It's a dynamic act, like ecosystem engineering almost. By thinning out the canopy, judiciously clearing underbrush, you create optimal conditions for new trees, diverse vegetation to regenerate. And strategic selective harvesting isn't just about reducing density. It can actually increase the variety of native tree species, boost biodiversity, create habitat for a wider range of animals, from game birds to beneficial insects. And healthier trees stands the ones free from overcrowding, deadfall, disease trees. They're inherently more valuable. Because the remaining trees get vital access to nutrients, water, sunlight, they thrive. So this isn't just cutting, it's cultivation, a long-term vitality. Our sources really emphasize that a healthy forest is a productive forest, ecologically and economically.
That idea of cultivation, not just cutting, that really shifts the paradigm for me. It's not just a transaction, it's an intervention, an active process. And speaking of value, it's easy to look at a, majestic stand of trees and think, wow, that's got to be worth a fortune. But our sources highlight it's far more nuanced than just size and species. You can't just guess, can you? What are some of those subtle yet significant factors that really dictate timber value?
Absolutely not. Guessing is not the way. Determining timber value is incredibly complex. It's influenced by a multitude of interconnected factors. The species, the age, and especially the quality and quantity of your trees, they all play a pivotal role.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond your specific trees, you also have to consider current timber prices, which, fluctuate, and the availability of loggers and mills in your specific area. That matters too. For instance, timber destined primarily for pulp, that's wood fiber for paper, certain boards that'll have a significantly lower value than, say, high-end veneers. From premium species like oak, walnut, cherry, those command top dollar for fine furniture.
Right. So it's not just what kind of tree or how old. Even geography plays a surprisingly critical role, doesn't it? Our source from Basecamp Leasing points out that states with less overall timber production, maybe like Texas or South Dakota, they might find it harder to earn good money compared to states rich in high-quality timber, like Minnesota, Ohio, or West Virginia. Those places have established logging infrastructure and markets.
That's a crucial distinction, yeah. And it highlights why your first step shouldn't be calling a logging company. You should be calling a professional forester. They're your independent expert. They conduct what's called a timber cruise.
The timber cruise. Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially a meticulous inventory, a survey of your stand to identify marketable trees.
Yeah.
They estimate the timber volume based on height and dBH,
PBH.
diameter at breast height. It's a standardized measurement, crucial for consistent valuation. They then combine this data with current logging costs and stumpage prices.
Stumpage prices.
That's the value of the standing timber before it's cut and transported.
Hmm.
So combining all that, they provide a potential financial outlook for your forest. This ensures you have an objective assessment before you talk to any buyers. Very important.
You know, before diving into these sources, I always just pictured timber becoming like 2x4s or firewood, construction lumber. But this base camp leasing piece, it unveils this incredible hidden world of what harvested wood actually becomes. I was genuinely surprised to learn, for instance, that a significant chunk, around 40%, goes to fuel. And even synthetic textiles like rayon come from wood cellulose. Can you shed more light on these less obvious uses and why understanding them matters for a landowner?
It's truly amazing, isn't it, that versatility? Beyond fuel and those high-value veneers we mentioned, timber contributes to heavy construction, like railway sleepers. It's processed into fiberboards from sawdust and other waste materials, and yes, even rayon textiles. Understanding this diversity is key because different species, even different parts of the same tree, will have varying values depending on their end use. A landowner might have some trees perfect for high-value furniture, while others are better suited for pulp or energy. A professional forester helps you identify which parts of your forest can command the best prices for their highest and best use. Maximize your return, minimize waste.
That incredible versatility, construction to synthetic textiles, it really shapes the market value. But knowing your tree's worth is just the first puzzle piece, right? The next, and maybe the most critical, is how you actually sell that timber and ensure you're partnering with the right people. This definitely isn't a DIY project, is it?
Oh, not at all. As we just touched on, a professional forester is your absolute first call. They don't just assess value, they can inventory your entire property, help you prepare a comprehensive timber management plan tailored to your specific goals, whether that's income, wildlife, forest health, or some combination. And critically, they provide invaluable connections to reliable loggers, timber buyers. This is non-negotiable, really, because you want a logger who aligns with your long-term goals. Forest health, property integrity, not just short-term profit. A good forester helps ensure they'll carefully harvest only designated trees and minimize damage to your remaining land.
Okay, and that leads directly to a crucial question. How do you truly protect your property and yourself? Throughout this often complex process, I imagine there's a lot more to it than just a handshake agreement.
Oh, absolutely. A signed contract is, well, simply put, non-negotiable. This document needs to meticulously outline your goals, detail exactly how the timber will be cut, removed, sold. But it goes further than just the logging itself. You must ensure your logger has proper licensing, bonding, and adequate liability and property damage insurance.
Right, the insurance.
Yes. Logging is inherently dangerous work. Significant accidents or damages can occur, and you absolutely do not want to be held responsible for incidents or property damage that happens on your land during the operation. It's a critical layer of protection for you, the landowner.
What about after the trees are cut and removed? Our source uses the term the treetops, branches left behind. What happens with all that, and whose job is it to deal with it?
That's another key detail that must be addressed in your contract. No ambiguity. You have several options for slash management. You can leave it in place to naturally decompose, enrich the soil, pile it together in designated areas to create wildlife habitat, which can be great, or burn it at a later date, assuming local regulations allow, of course. Similarly, the contract needs to cover logging trails. They might need clearing, improving, maybe even creating new ones to access and remove trees. Make sure all this is included in the bid and the final contract, because a well-maintained trail network can offer significant benefits later on for future property management, maybe even leasing potential.
And the ground itself. You mentioned heavy equipment that can cause lasting damage, especially in wet land, can it? I've heard horror stories about deep ruts that, well, never really recover.
You're absolutely right. It's a major concern, a valid one. If logging happens when the ground isn't frozen or sufficiently dry, heavy equipment can quickly compact and rut wet soil, leaving lasting impacts for years, potentially affecting drainage, future growth. It's serious. Your contract should explicitly require the logging company to regrade any damaged areas, restore the ground to an acceptable condition before they leave. This level of meticulous detail in the planning ensures truly responsible harvesting. It minimizes those long-term negative effects.
Speaking of responsibility, it's clear this isn't a one-and-done project. What does it truly mean to harvest timber sustainably, especially given your earlier point that, it's something you generally can't undo in your lifetime?
Responsible timber harvesting is all about careful long-term planning,
Mm-hmm.
anticipating future growth, ecosystem health, not just the immediate cut. Our source emphasizes working closely with your logging team to plan the harvest for the least invasive time for the ground, ideally when it's hard or frozen, minimizing that compaction and rutting we just discussed.
And it extends beyond your own property lines too, doesn't it? Thinking about neighbors, increased traffic, noise, even impacts on their own tree stands potentially.
Absolutely. Communication is paramount there. Talk to your neighbors. And from an ecological perspective, selecting individual trees for harvest that will least affect wildlife is crucial. For example, if there's a large, mature, acorn-producing oak, really critical food source for deer, maybe turkeys, you might choose to leave it. Harvest another tree nearby if possible. Avoid depleting vital resources.
Makes sense.
The goal here is a truly sustainable plan, one that can continue to provide a steady income over time, if that's a goal. Avoiding excessive harvesting that prioritizes short-term profit over the long-term viability and health of your forest. It's about ensuring future generations can also benefit. Stewardship.
So the harvest is complete. The landscape looks, well, dramatically different, maybe a little messy, perhaps even a bit chaotic at first. Now what? Does the story end there, or is this actually a new beginning for the land?
Oh, far from the end. It's definitely a new beginning. While logging certainly changes the landscape dramatically, yeah, the area will typically change drastically again within just a single growing season. As new growth sprouts, the forest begins its regeneration. It's quite resilient. But even though it might look messy initially, this is actually a prime opportunity, a fresh canvas, if you will, for proactive land management.
So what does this all mean for the landowner then? What specific actions can someone take in this post-harvest window?
This is where you can really shape the future of your property. Take control. You can plant additional high-value tree species, maybe wildlife-friendly shrubs. This post-harvest window is the ideal time to introduce new species. Spring or fall is best, usually. And use protective cages to shield young plants from browsing wildlife. Deer love new growth.
Right.
To minimize erosion on those newly exposed logging roads or landing areas, seeding them is highly recommended. Fast-establishing annuals like ryegrass, clover, or even better, native plants suited to the area. It's about active restoration.
And you can even make the remaining trees even better through all this, the ones that weren't harvested.
Precisely. Those new access trails created by the logging operation, they provide excellent opportunity now to conduct timber stand improvement activities, TSI. Think of it like gardening for your forest. Pruning, removing undesirable competing species, thinning weak trees. These activities make the remaining trees healthier, grow faster, increase their long-term value. And here's an interesting, maybe surprising takeaway from our source. After a timber harvest, you can often earn a higher price on hunting leases.
Really? Why is that?
Because the improved habitat, with its new openings, regenerating forest lands, it becomes significantly more attractive for various wildlife species. Deer, turkey, grouse. They utilize these dynamic, edge-heavy areas throughout the year. It's a clear demonstration of how responsible management can create multiple forms of value, not just timber income.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, the landowner, perhaps contemplating a timber sale? From truly understanding your timber's complex value to meticulously selecting the right professionals, drafting an ironclad contract, and planning for the long-term health and productivity of your land. Selling timber is a sophisticated, multifaceted endeavor. It's not just about a one-time transaction, clearly, but a long-term investment in your property and its enduring potential.
Yeah, this deep dive really makes us reconsider our perspective, doesn't it? When you look at your land, do you still see just trees? Or do you now see the profound potential for improved habitat, maybe sustained income, and a flourishing dynamic ecosystem, something that truly embodies responsible land stewardship for generations to come?
The deep dive may be over for today, but your exploration, well, it's just begun. We truly encourage you to seek out those professional foresters in your area. Continue to learn about the incredible living world of sustainable land management. Until next time, keep digging, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.